It's the end of an era in Japan, with Emperor Akihito becoming the first Japanese monarch to abdicate since 1817. Hundreds of people, including Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, gathering at the imperial palace in the capital, Tokyo, for the main ceremony. This after several private rituals were held. 85-year-old Akihito expressed a desire to abdicate in 2016, citing his declining health. His 30-year reign officially ends at midnight local time. His eldest son, 59-year-old Crown Prince Naruhito, is due to ascend the throne tomorrow, Wednesday, marking the start of the new imperial era named Reiwa. Let's go to Tokyo now and speak to our correspondent, Justin McCurry. Justin, first of all, what did Akihito say in his final address as emperor?
Well, they were very brief remarks, and he said what many people expected him to say. They were very short on detail, but a message, I think, that was delivered less so to the people inside the stateroom at the Imperial Palace, but more so to the people of Japan themselves. He thanked them for the trust and the support that they'd shown him and the Empress, his wife, Empress Michiko, during his 30-year reign. He again expressed gratitude that his time on the Chrysanthemum Throne had been free of war and had been a time of prosperity for Japan. And he ended it by saying that he hoped in the years and decades to come, under the reign of his eldest son, Naruhito, who will take the throne tomorrow, that Japan and the rest of the world would enjoy a long period of peace and happiness. Just before Akihito spoke, the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe made similarly warm remarks, thanking the emperor for his years of service. And he made particular reference to the fact that under the current emperor, really the imperial family, though it remains a deeply conservative institution, has been brought closer to ordinary Japanese citizens. And that's really down to the work that the current emperor and empress have done, for example, by visiting victims of natural disasters. There were several large natural disasters during Akihito's reign. So it's an important point. He will remain officially emperor until midnight tonight. But of course, now all attention turns to his son and what he might say in brief remarks that he's due to make in the same room tomorrow morning.
Justin, tell us a bit more about the ceremony. So, as you mentioned, the Prime Minister was there. Who else was there? And tell us about this symbolic return of the three sacred treasures.
Right, well, there was a little confusion over the regalia, the three sacred treasures. In fact, only two were on display today. They were a ceremonial sword and a jewel, which we're not quite sure which jewel it is. Some people have said it's jade. They were brought into the state room by imperial household agency officials, along with the privy seal and the state seal, and placed on stands. Now, the sword and the jewel and a third sacred treasure, a mirror, which is kept at Japan's most revered Shinto shrine in Ise, are thought to have, or are said, according to mythology, to have been bequeathed by the first person in the 2,600-year-old Japanese imperial line. This was the sun goddess Amaterasu. So there are extreme symbolic significance. And what happened today was that those three items, or two of the three items, were returned. And this is symbolic of Akihito's wish to abdicate. Then tomorrow, his son Naruhito will take possession, symbolically, not physically, of those same two items of regalia. So today's ceremony was broadcast live on TV. There were about 300 people in the room, including the Empress Michiko, including other members of the imperial family, and of course Shinzo Abe and other senior politicians.
And what's the atmosphere like where you are? I mean, how do people in Tokyo and around Japan feel about this historic abdication?
Well, because the abdication, it sort of coincides with what is usually a series of national holidays in Japan, people of Japan have been given an unprecedented 10-day holiday. So a lot of people, particularly in big cities like Tokyo, have gone either back to their hometowns, possibly to spend time with family, or I think a record number of people this year have gone on holiday. And the weather is unusually cold, it's chilly, it's dark, it's drizzling in Tokyo today. So that has put the dampers on things to a certain extent, but there were still lots of people milling around outside the imperial palace gardens, hoping to catch sight of members of the imperial family as they arrived for the ceremony. So, of course, this is all symbolic. There will be no political change as a result of today's abdication. But what it means is that one era, and a relatively long era of 30 years, has come to an end. So people may take this opportunity to take a step back, to reflect on the past, and then to look forward to another era, Reiwa, I should say, year one, which begins tomorrow with the succession of Crown Prince Naruhito.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Justin, for joining us there from Tokyo. Justin McCurry.